So on behalf of Subotech and Inspiring Minds, I thank all the dignitaries to have honored us by accepting our request and speaker today. So today's topic of discussion is cognitive skills and what are the important part of cognitive skill in day-to-day life, and we'll also touch upon a new education policy. So let me introduce the panel to you. Like very first, Miss Malini ma'am. So Malini ma'am is an educationalist and she is the former principal in Mahadevi Birla World Academy School and Lokhandwala Foundation School, Mangalam Vidyaniketan School since like 24-25 years. And she's the part of Manovikas Kendra. Manovikas Kendra is an institute which has special gifted children, and Malin ma'am doctorate in economics and she has done postgraduate diploma in education management. She's one of the who acquired formal training in field of ISO certification. Under her leadership, many schools got ISO certified. She writes in newspaper and also found of writing poems. She expertise in taking workshop for teachers, students, and parents. So that's about Malini ma'am. And now next, Nikita ma'am. Nikita ma'am is a psychologist and business philosopher and speaker. She is the founder of Lenity Learning and Personal and Professional Transformation Training Organization. Over the years, she has developed training programs for like 1900 individuals, worked as a consultant with corporates such as Uber and Genpact. She also experienced in working with hospitals such as AIMS and all. Our next guest is Gulshan sir. Gulshan sir is the CEO and founder of Inspiration Minds. Along with this, he is a professional trainer and more than 8 years of experience building programs for colleges and schools. He is certified by UNDP and Microsoft and on like career guidance skills, innovative technologies in classrooms. He has trained more than 10,000 educators and 60,000 students so far. He has conducted workshops across India in multiple branches of schools like Army Public School, Podar International School, Modi Schools, Aditya Birla School, Delhi Public School, Sainik Schools, and many more such educational institutes. Last but not least, Paresh sir. Paresh sir is an engineering graduate in electronics and telecommunication with 25 years of work experience in various organizations. He has been like leadership roles for 16 years and been part of a senior leadership team since last 8 years. He has worked in some largest group of organizations like Tata, Reliance, Airtel, National Parasonic, Maxis Group, Videocon, and various locations in country. Along with this, being director of Subotech, he conducts sessions regularly in colleges and organizations about like various topics, leadership, soft skills, and skill related to business operations. So I welcome you all.
So when I'm speaking about cognitive skills, Mani ma'am, just wanted to check up with you. You have been so many years into teaching and all. So what is your thought process on cognitive skills?
Paresh, let me thank you first to invite me here, and Shweta for such a lovely introduction. Yes, it's a very important field, the cognitive skills. And before we go into detail, let us first understand what is cognitive skills. See, we all take it as a very fancy word, the cognitive skills. But actually, what is cognitive skill? How is it developed at different stages? Is our brain just a miniature of an adult brain? Do we develop all kinds of skills at the time of birth? Or does our mind and the brain develop slowly? And slowly we develop different kinds of cognitive skills. So let me take you to a little introduction to what the cognitive skill is so that you understand it. So may I share my screen now?
Yeah, I think.
I will just have a very short presentation with few slides, just to understand what the cognitive skill is. I'm sure all of you know, but still a kind of a quick revision to that.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our abilities to help us process new informations and distributing it to the appropriate area in our brain. Now, our brain is like an almirah, which has different kind of drawers. So when we receive any information, it goes to different areas and it is there, the information is there. So cognitive skill is not only about developing, the more important is when do we retrieve it. Whenever we want to retrieve our cognitive skills, whenever we want to retrieve the informations which are there, we are able to retrieve it. So That way we develop the cognitive skills. Now, very broadly, the cognitive skills can be divided into three: thinking, reasoning, and remembering. When we talk of, whenever you see anything, you first think, then you reason behind that, and then you keep it in a memory. So when we talk of remembering, we talk of memory, which has like the short-term memory, the long-term memory, the working memory. So different kinds of memory that we will discuss in due course. Now, before we go again for the cognitive skills, let us see what is cognitive development. By cognitive development, we mean how our brain develops at different levels. One sec, some problem with yours. One sec. So from birth to there are 4 stages which is given by PJ. PJ was a very big Swiss psychologist, and he has studied the human being, especially from child to the grown-up stage. And he found out that there are 4 important stages of cognitive development, and which is really not accepted all over the world. So the first stage is sensory motor stage. This is a stage from birth to 2 years. Then 3 years to 7 years, the pre-operational stage. The third stage is a concrete operational stage, which is from 8 years to 11 years. And then we come to the formal operational stage, which is 12 years onwards. And our mind is completely developed at the age of 22. So from 12 years onwards is the formal operational stage, when the mind starts working, reasoning, thinking, the logical thinking, the interpretation of the things. All this develops during that period.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now let us see what is the PJ. This is important because when we are talking of the cognitive skill, how the development takes place in the mind, because depending on that, based on that, the cognitive skills are developed. Now, how to enhance the development and to let the development be in the right direction, we need to know what will be the cognitive development at that particular age. So the very first stage, that is sensory motor stage, this is a stage when babies and infants, they learn from their sensory parts. What are the sensory parts? The 5 senses we all know.
Exactly.
Yes. Now, when we learn from those senses, it is known as sensory skill. So those 5 skills are the sensory skills, and the sensory plays are the activities which stimulate children's senses. Now, here the role of the external force comes. When the child is at that stage, we have to have sensory plays so that the sensory skills are developed. See, sensory skills are there by birth, but to develop the sensory skills, it needs some external force. And that's why you will find that some children are brighter, some are not so bright, because right from the childhood, right from the birth, if you take the correct action and correct kind of impulse you give to the children, it is going to have its impact in the long run. So the very common, we know the 5 sensory senses are eye, which relates to visual, ear, which relates to auditory, touch, which relates to tactiles, smell, olfactory, and taste is gustatory. Now, initially, the visual is the most important. Actually, the auditory starts in the beginning. Auditory starts at the fetus level itself when the fetus is 5 months old. So that is why it is said that during that period that the mother should be stress-free, the mother should stay to listen to music, and because the child can hear. See, there is a system in South India, if one of you are from South India, or if you are aware of it, in 5 months, there's a function of something like Godh Bharai, what we have in 7 months. And in that function, the ladies are supposed to wear the bangles. So the jiggling sound of the bangles, makes the fetus understand, the mother. So see how much the meaning is there behind every customs of India. So auditory, can anyone give me, I'm sure you know the example of, one example from Mahabharata?
Abhimanyu, yeah, ma'am.
Exactly.
Abhimanyu's case, yes? Yes. So, and then it comes to visual. When we talk of visual and auditory, again we can divide it into three kinds. One is visual discrimination, visual closure, and visual motor development.
Okay.
What is visual discrimination? When you see two things, you can find out the difference. You see, at the later stage, we do that hocus pocus game where the two pictures are given and 6 differences are there which you have to find out. You remember that game?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
You will have 2 pictures. And after you do 10 or 12 pictures, you will understand, okay, if the shirt print is different or the cap is in a different direction or the hand is moved. See, then how fast we develop those skills. So that is your visually, when you see the thing, the visually discrimination, and then second is visual closure. Visual closure, suppose half of the apple is given to you and you have to close that apple. So the other half you can easily draw. Right? So this is visual closure. And the visual motor development is, you say that, okay, pick up that red apple and keep it in the green basket. So motor development, when you use your hands and feet, the movements are there. The same thing happens with the ears, with the auditory. First is the auditory discrimination. To a child, you suppose if we play the game, okay, 2 claps, and the child also will do twice. When you do it 3 times, the child will do it 3 times. So this is, they can discriminate hearing that what is the difference in the sound, how many times are there. But again, at different stages of development, they will understand it better now. At a young age, they can only copy. Slowly, they will understand these are 2 claps and then there are 3 claps. Then maybe if you do 2 claps, 3 claps, 4 claps, and then you tell them to continue, they will do 5 claps, they will do 6 claps because the logical thinking has developed. So slowly this way, the thinking, the auditory skills are also developed. The same thing, auditory closure. Suppose you start singing a song and the child can continue with the next line. Then you have auditory motor one. Suppose again you say that, okay, you hear this song and go and play over there, play the same song there. So there is some activities involved in that. Now tactile is the touch, you know that we do it rough surface and the plain surface. Initially we start with the sandpaper and the nice marble paper. And slowly the touch becomes so important that in the schools we also teach them what is good touch, what is bad touch.
Exactly.
Because they can really differentiate. Maybe as an adult, I will not be able to understand, but the small children can really differentiate.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
True.
The smell part, apart from the children, I can give you the example because these skills are there throughout our life at different levels. As you grow, 22 is the highest, then the 3 years is again staged, and then slowly it starts decreasing. But if I give you the example of a kitty party of the ladies, there are so many games, where you have to smell the masalas and tell that which masala is that. Right?
No clue, ma'am. In this one, this example, we have no clue.
We can just imagine.
Yeah, you can share with your partners and they will tell you that. They will say, yes, I had one, Paresh, you don't know about it. Then gustatory, you just think of the tea testers.
Okay.
Their taste senses are so improved, so sensitive that they can do it. And same thing happens for the children. So we use at least one of these 5 senses every moment of every day, even when we are asleep.
Exactly.
When we are asleep, you see somebody comes and puts on light. And you see, when you are asleep, these senses help you in protecting you. So when you are asleep and suppose somebody enters the room, most of the times you will feel that you will get up. The light is on, you will get up. Right? So these are our sensory skills and our senses. And at the initial stage of Piaget's theory of cognitive development, these senses are very strong because other cognitive skills are not developed. So the entire cognitive development is based on these sensory skills only. But as you grow from 2 years to 7 years, you develop the languages. You develop the written language, you develop the reading of the languages. And if you compare it with the school environment, you will see that this stage only the writing starts.
True.
Right? So a child may not understand the logic behind it, but the child will also have the hypothetical situations. See the picture, the horse is running and the child is just trying to pretend it. But how does the horse run? What is the dynamics and all that, the child will not understand. So whenever we propose any curriculum and whenever we propose any kind of program for them, keeping these cognitive skills at a particular age, you develop it. Then only it is going to be effective. Many times, suppose if you say that, okay, my child at this stage is not doing this, it's not the child's fault. Because at that stage, that particular skill is not developed at all. So the parents should not expect all of a sudden that my child will know everything. It is the development of the brain which will take place at different ages. Now, these ages are just, you can say, a kind of, I mean, there's no watertight compartment. The 7 and once the 7th birthday is over, the next day the child goes to next stage. These are the continuous things, you know. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Now, third one, the child will start the logic and deductions, and the child will understand. It develops a sense of logical deductions. So when you say that this person is very observant, this person is very logical, this will happen only after age 7 or 8, whatever you say. See the picture. He can understand that the cat is bothering because of the cat he is getting the sneeze. And he's trying to remove that object which is troubling. So it is not only sneezing, whereas a 2-year-old will not understand that. So here the logical thinking has also developed now. And not only logical thinking, he also reacts according to that. He has understood his sneezing, has understood the reason of that, and now he is taking action to see that that thing is taken care of. So this is your
7 years onwards, the child gets the wider scope of thought processes, what we can say.
Yes, yes. So this is a very important age when you can ignite the child's mind with a lot of activities, with a lot of puzzles, with a lot of games. Through different media, you can ignite the mind.
Sure.
And once the mind starts, that particular part is sharpened in the mind, that remains for the entire age.
Okay.
For the entire age, the child will have that thing. So that is why the concrete stage, the operational stage is very important. And the next is the formal operational age. The formal operational stage is there when the child can perform all kind of things, all deductive reasonings, things, abstract things about it. Then they go for coding and everything. So the mind is almost, you can say, fully operational to accept anything formal, to accept anything, anything scientific, the mathematical thing, the graphs, the charts, everything. So this is the Piaget's theory of cognitive development, which is developed in 4 different stages. Now, what are I have just broadly taken 9 cognitive skills. One is a sustained, selective, divided, long-term, working, logical, auditory, visual, processing. Now you will find these 9 in different forms and different headings, but broadly these are the 9. And if you think very, very broadly, there are only 3: thinking, reasoning, and remembering.
Yes.
Now again, those 3 I have divided into 9. You can have a different kinds of division also. Like on the left hand side, my division is different. Right hand side, it is different. But anyway, it will cover almost the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, what is sustained attention? It focuses us on a single task for a longer period of time. And this is what the children are missing these days. They are always having the short-term attention. For them, even for us, I find, I was making this presentation and I was busy looking at the WhatsApp, checking my emails. And then, Pareshi, I put an alarm of 10 minutes. I will not check my mails now. So the thing is this sustained attention, selective attention. See, sustained is okay. You are concentrating. I was all alone. I was working on that. But suppose I'm in a big family, many people are at home, and then I have to make it so that there I must have the selective attention, that I am selecting that I have to put my attention here and ignore other things. So selective attention is also a very important part. Now, suppose you are a leader. And okay, I take the example of school because I had been to so many years to school. It's an annual day. I can't be selective. I can't be sustained at that point of time. I have to have the divided attention everywhere. Whatever is working in this direction, I have to coordinate everything. That everybody gets their best, and that time everybody is in the right spirit and nobody disturbed. Nobody is feeling the little upset. So that time the divided attention is required. Now, long-term memory. When I started working on this, I remembered my B.Ed classes when I had done this agile psychology, which I had completely forgotten, and I don't think directly I'd used any time. But this time when I was making this, that long-term memory has worked. Whatever we had worked there, that all came into my mind. Working memory, some people see the instruction, they will read 10 times to complete the job. There are some people who read the instruction once and then they will complete the job.
True.
And all these can be developed further at different levels if you give the stimulus accordingly. And the right age to give the stimulus is before 22 years of age. I should say the right age will be somewhere around 7 to 18, 19, because then they develop on their own the next 3 years. Logical and reasoning, brainstorming, if you do problem solving, analytical data, so they can logically think and deduct the inference from there. Auditory processing, you see, same thing, you are in the same group, but some people's auditory talent is so good, they will say, usne ye kaha, usne wahan par ye hua, I will say, I didn't notice, what are you talking about? I don't think this happened. But the people have the auditory skill, they can really hear and grasp and remember what has really happened. Same thing is about the visual processing. Visual, you see the same step. There is a game, you have about 20 items on a tray and then you cover it and then you show it to the children. So these are the ways and means how to improve the visual processing of the children. Yeah. Now, most important is processing speed. You in the games and all, you have the different levels. You come to this speed, then you go to the higher one, then you go to the higher end, then you go to the higher one. You know everything, but what is your speed? Is your speed good? When we buy the computer, when we buy the laptops, we will always think of the speed.
Reaction time, yeah.
Yes, so same thing is in the case of the cognitive skills also. Okay, we have done in a very short, what is the cognitive skill and what are the motor skills and how do we develop it? Now we know it, but how to improve about it?
That's the main question I would rather say. And how to improve these skills.
Yes. Right. So Gulshan ji, now the thing is, we know it. I mean, all of us, I think, I'm sure we know it. Now, how to improve it? So the very first thing is reduce stress.
True.
Because if you're in a stressful mind, stressful state, your mind is not ready to accept this. And if you make your mind calm, certainly the acceptance level will be more. And for this, I think there's nothing like meditation. What the meditation does, meditation calms your mind, calms your brain that, okay, slow down, right? Now you tell me at this point, can anybody think that what is the role of a brake in the car? I will come. I think the meditation and the break are the same things, right? The brake in a car. What is the role of the brake in a car? Let us have the brainstorming here. Tell me.
Yeah, the purpose of brake is, if you're going somewhere, there is a danger somewhere, so you apply the brakes. It stops you from getting into a danger. So that's the primary definition of brake.
Okay, so the brake is there to brake your speed in
true.
case it is required. Okay, any other answer? We are going for brainstorming. And there is no right and wrong answer in this. It's the different ways of looking at it.
Gives you a little halt.
Yes, Nikita?
It gives you a little halt.
Okay.
It gives you a little halt in terms of even when there's except for the dead brakes that we can put in, we could use it on the red lights or just to maybe make a phone call.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
That everybody, Malini ma'am, everybody requires at least some break so that they can think about it, what has happened before.
Yes, right. So what I feel, Gulshan-di, what is your reaction to this? Your answer to this?
I just said it. I said that everybody requires some time to think of it. Think over it.
Right. Okay, absolutely right. All the answers are right. What I feel, the brake is there to make the car run very fast.
Okay, that's a different way of looking at it.
Yeah. The brake empowers us to make the car run at the speed of 140 also.
True, ma'am.
Because we know that if there is a brake and if required, I can use it.
True.
So same way, I think the meditation empowers you. If you are meditating, you are controlling your mind. It empowers you to do the things at a faster pace, at a more efficient level, because you know that you have the full power of controlling your mind. When you are at peace, you can control your mind and you can regulate your speed. To regulate the speed, the regulation of the speed is in your hands. You will not go hayway because your senses are in your control.
Exactly.
That's my interpretation.
That's a very right point. It's a different way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Yes, we used to do in a workshop like VTS technique, a visual thinking strategy. Then we given a one picture and like they don't know where it clicked or what is happening. They just give their opinion and nobody is right and wrong, as you said. So, but your break example is way ahead. It's like a transforming. Like I never thought of this. Like break, इस तरह से भी use हो सकती है. Like seriously, we have that confidence that we have breaks and we are on a like 100, 120. But we know whenever it needed, the break comes in. Right?
Yes. So it is empowering you, right?
Basically, what happens is,
Yes.
So in terms of when you're talking about a break, I think it's a small rejuvenation for yourself just to get into an inner drive, to understand, to take a halt where we are and then move forward. So we can decide the speed as per our goals.
Absolutely.
Going in for it, we need to assess the situation and then move forward. So what happens in prisons is something that, all the prisoners, if a person has been into jail and is not answering to the questions, they do not do anything. They just do one sort of torture, and that is they don't let the person sleep. So not letting they'll give food, they'll give everything to that person, but they won't let them sleep, because the moment they sleep, their brain will get rest and they can think about what is the possible solution or how they could probably come to a lie and they could get out of this. Basically an escape mechanism they can think of. So they don't let the brain sleep.
Yeah, that's it. That's such a lovely example, Nikita. Really, I mean, how can we, rather than empowering, we can make our brain dull.
Yeah.
We can make our brain stop from thinking, stop from any kind of deduction, any kind of logic, any kind of being rational.
So you've worked in schools. Why do the periods in the school are 30 to 40 minutes? Because that is the attention span.
True.
Yes.
Beyond that, if you will go, it'll just go above the head, or the children, they'll just start fooling around.
Yes.
And there's no
What about the children, the teachers? I find also the same thing. I think the educators are not the superhumans. I mean, they are also having these kind of traits.
Yes. Yes.
True. So the rest you have already taken up. Then different kind of techniques. The walk at times, when you get tired, you go for a brisk walk. So what happens in the case of brisk walk? Also, your mind is not thinking of anything else. Meditation is the same thing. Now there are different kinds of meditation. Since we have done the sensory organs now, see, initially if you are not able to meditate, the way of meditation is you just concentrate at your breath, right? Just be aware of your breath. So what happens when you are just be aware of your breath, the other things do not come and disturb your mind. Other thoughts are not disturbing your mind. Now, one other way is to just close your eyes in the morning and think of the different sounds. Just try to hear the different sounds.
True.
So those who are good in auditory senses, they just keep their eyes closed and think and hear the different sounds. And it's such a good feeling. You just try it out tomorrow.
My husband just tried that with me day before. And I was like, what are you doing? And he was out in the balcony and he's like, just think about all the sounds. Just make a note of all the sounds. And then he was doing the same thing. I heard different sounds and he heard different sounds.
Just see.
We were in the same situation, but both of us were hearing different sounds. My interpretation was different and his was different.
See, such a lovely thing. So yeah, again, you see the auditory level also, the different, maybe you have caught it at different levels.
Yeah.
Or as per your liking.
I wanted to, whatever I wanted to hear, I was hearing that. Whatever he wanted to hear, he was hearing that.
How the mind filters.
Yes.
Yes. And the third one is you feel on your skin. What kind of breeze you are getting? How is your skin feeling about it? You try it out that tomorrow.
That's another task for us now.
Yeah, some homework is always there, isn't it? So, yeah. So that is why if you have the meditation or before going to sleep, if you focus on something, these things are very good practices to develop your sensory organs. Then the care of your physical health. That we all know that a healthy mind stays in a healthy body. And for that, the proper drinking water, enough of drinking water, the balanced diet and all. So you know that whenever there is a program or anything in the school, the parents are always briefed on these things. That because the tension level of the parents is much, much higher than the tension level of the children.
Nowadays, it's the case.
Children are much, much smarter, yes. And then...
Yes, Malini ma'am, just to ask you one question. I mean, since we are working in the field of education and you have more experience than us, right? Because we are working in the past 10 years and you're working the past 40 years, I believe, right? So when you talk about this, how to improve the cognitive skills. So is this like these things are very easy for us when we talk about it, meditation or talking about some other skills, right? At the age of 25, 30 or 35, even more than that. But for a student who is just 10 years of age, who is just 15 years of age, how to calm his mind, right? So that he can think of improving all these skills. That's a very dominant question. I believe the Paresh ji would, I mean, that's a main reason why Sarbotech has come up with this idea, right? Because our main audience, this is like these people are facing a lot of trouble nowadays. Recently, I saw an ad wherein a 6-year-old guy, a 6-year-old child, has made an application, right? They started coding at the age of 6. At the age of 8, they were thinking about getting the startup guys. So these things and how we can improve with all these short-term mechanisms. So if Paresh ji or you can give some insight on this.
You can certainly improve. You have to bring the child into that environment. Suppose in the morning, if the entire family is sitting for meditation, you don't have to tell the child that, okay, this is the advantage of that. It will go like a normal routine of the house. So that should become like something which is happening.
Exactly.
Without telling that, okay, if you meditate, your concentration level will improve. One will never meditate, especially the child at that particular age. Like suppose if you're thinking of the sound, what the Nikita said just now. Okay, you tell the child to close your eyes and sit for 10 minutes. In between, the child will open the eyes and all, and you will also open the eyes to see the child is working.
Be that child.
Yeah, I mean, that is your pretext that I'm not trying to see my child. But the thing is,
we all done this in our morning prayers when we were in
Yeah,
school,
but
isn't it?
yes, and if you have seen that movie Goody, where the Jaya Bachchan makes all the excuses for the morning prayers not being present in that.
just to value add, just to add a little more to what Mani ma'am is saying. Maybe Gulshan ji, you put up a right question. It gets very difficult. But for example, meditation for people like me, for me, meditation is a very, very difficult process. I can't sit at a place.
Very,
I can't sit and meditate. So how can we expect children to do that? Probably you're 15 years old. If I can't do it, I can't tell my child saying that, look, you have to sit across at a place and do it. So that's the reason why, as Mani ma'am was saying somewhere, or Nikita ji, you were experiencing the sounds. Basically, sounds play a very important role in meditation, right? So probably if a child is sitting at a place and listening to specific type of sounds, right? The morning ragas, the evening ragas, we all have heard about all these concepts, the ragas basically, and
Yes,
somewhere these sounds that are there across, these play a very, very important role. And these sounds is something that a child needs to listen to. What does the sound do? The sound only reduces the flow of thoughts. So moment flow of thoughts reduces, probably the mind stops wobbling. It starts getting cooler, and it starts getting into a simple thought process. Yeah. And that becomes calmer. So that's probably one of the ways I could think across, wherein up to make a child to meditate.
yeah.
Meditation is not primarily just sitting through listening to the sounds or just concentrating on your breath. What, as far as my journey has been concerned, if you talk about me, I can meditate, but for me, meditation would just be free flow of paintings or drawings. That is something that gives me a kick. That is a break for me. That helps me get back to life and in a better way, because my thoughts, my flow, everything comes onto paper. Somebody else could just dance away. Somebody else could just sing away. That is meditation. Whatever work you're doing or something which is out of your regular work. So if a child, if you're talking about specifically a student, then maybe they have that board exams or any sort of exams that they have, and they've been studying for good 2 hours, 3 hours at a stretch. More than that, I don't expect anybody to do that. And if they are doing, then they're not learning anything.
That's the whole point. And how to calm their mind. I mean, for you, the
Physical
drawing
activity.
is
Some
the
sort
example.
of physical activity is important. Either your mind, your mental state is at work, or your physical state is at work. For example, if we talk about an ADHD, so we say that an ADHD or attention hyperdeficit.
Deficit.
Yeah. So there are two aspects to it. Either that brain, I have met so many children with ADHD, and they are super intelligent. All of them
They are intelligent. Most of them are, their intelligence level is higher than the average one.
Yes, that is because they have a memory which is super fast than the others. They can grasp things in a way. That is why they can't sit in a place for a longer period of time, because they know this is the thing that is about to happen and it has happened. So they want something new. They are very curious. They actually have very curious brains. So for them, it is important, if their mind is at work, then they're going to be sitting. If their physical body is at work, then they're going to be running all through the house or wherever they are. They can't stand in a queue because that, they have that high pulses within them. So they can't stand or sit at a place for a longer period of time, because they know that, okay, ye ho chuka hai, ab hum kya karenge? Now what? Now what's next?
True.
So either if you were talking about meditation, coming to that, then something physical, maybe an outdoor activity, maybe just telling them to go out, stroll in the park, maybe just run away and then come back and sit down for some time. While drinking a glass of water, they could just sit behind and just think about whatever happened. And that could be meditation. I sit and I think about my day, that, okay, these were certain things that I did. What is something better that I could do? And then I start my next morning after a good sleep.
Okay. Yeah, just to add to that, I just give you a very concrete example, which I've really experienced. One child of our pre-primary school was very, very naughty. And the same thing, he will never sit in one place, busy throughout the day, running around. we knew that he knows the work, but he will not do it. Then finally we spoke to the parents and we came to know that he is very fond of swimming. So we told the parents, try to take him for a swimming class before he comes to school. And he started morning swimming classes.
Okay.
So what happened physically, he was quite, the extra energy what he had,
Yes.
he was consuming that energy in the swimming
Yes.
pool.
They are high on energy.
So when he came to the class, when he came to the class, he was concentrating on what was being done in the class. And he improved within few months. It was like a miracle the way this child improved.
No, it always does. So I always tell them that going for something which is related to sports. Sports is very essential here because they have that energy. Using the energy in a positive direction or a negative direction, it is up to the parents. They can spend
Yes.
the energy, or they can actually utilize the energy for the betterment of the future.
Now, so there's the role of the elders, that comes, that how are you going to channelize that energy?
Yes.
True.
So, yeah.
So I think.
Vishen, Vishen, you would like to add something?
That's fine. You have already answered every point. You've already answered every point. I have some other things. Maybe I'll share later on.
Okay. So the focus is then the practice focus consciously. Any example again from the Mahabharata on focus?
Arjun,
Arjun's eye.
Arjun's eye, you could only see the eye of the
Fish.
Yes. So this all comes with practice. And when we
Exactly.
are of that age, we don't understand it. So now at the age, this age when we understand, it's better to see that the younger children, they get the advantage of that. And of course, even at this point, if we consciously do that, I think there will be some improvement positively.
Exactly.
But yes. And again, you can improve your cognitive skills with while exercising your brain in different ways. Some people are very fond of playing Sudoku and crossword. It certainly ignites your
Exactly.
mind. Reading a book. Some children, you see, like my grandchildren, unless and until they read the books, they just can't go to sleep.
that's very good.
Yeah.
I mean, they are ardent lovers of the books.
Actually, that's a fading habit. If you really see, the habit is going down when it comes to reading books is concerned. It's a fading habit. It's good that they're doing that.
USA, I think there are people who still read. In India and Singapore doesn't have the reading habits. India is not there. But in USA, anybody traveling will find the book in the hand. They are very fond of reading. I think Amazon
In
has
India,
given them-
Malini ma'am, in India also, if one is traveling, you can find the book, but it doesn't matter whether the person will
No,
read
the
the
book is
book or
just
not.
open in front of the hand, and then you're watching out what's happening outdoors. Just wait throughout the window.
You'll find the book, but again, that's not the possibility that the
Yeah.
person will read. Right?
That's a good observation.
tools. So they are carrying the book, they are not with the book.
Yeah.
They're
True.
more keen on knowing what is happening in the
The
other
book is
seats.
with us. No, they can read it later, but what if they miss around what is happening?
Yeah, today I received a WhatsApp. This I will just give the reference of that WhatsApp today. There is a barber. So what he has done, he has made rather than giving the Wi-Fi and all that facility when the people come there, he has made a library kind of thing, and many books are there.
Nice.
And the people come and read the book during that period, or if they're waiting, they read the book. And if they read the book properly, he gives them 30% discount.
I
also.
also read that news.
Yes. So I was so happy to read that. See, when small thought process can make big changes. you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
These
And
things are
yes.
very important.
Yes, chess is another way you can improve. Making a story, memorizing a story, songs and all that. So the thing is, you have to challenge your mind.
Sure.
If the activities are challenging your mind will go beyond that to think. And once you go beyond that, then that becomes your average. Then again, you have to think and challenge your mind beyond that. And that is the way how you can improve your cognitive skills. And just last slide. Now we have to decide that we want to be a bee or a honeybee. What is the difference between a bee and a honeybee?
So, like my first question to Parisar is supporting working in a field of cognitive skills. So, any specific purpose behind choosing cognitive skill as a field of research?
Before I go to the purpose, let me give a little background to you. If I have to talk about the background, let me speak about industrial revolutions. So in last 250 years, there have been four industrial revolutions. The first one started somewhere in the year 1780, and that was a steam engine industrial revolution. Now, the moment the industrial revolution came in, and there are a lot of changes that happened across, and a lot of people got out of job, right? And then the second industrial revolution came in 1900, and that was basically the production line. Again, because of the production line coming in, a lot of people got out of job because at that point of time people were not ready for the new revolution that is coming in. So similarly, another two revolutions happened across. The last one that happened in year 2000 was basically where the internet age came in. Now when the internet age came in, then the entire world changed. Now why am I speaking about industrial revolution? There is a background to this. uh, we are at a time when the machines are completely taking over. If you really see it, the machines are completely taking over. And in future, when I go foresee in the years 2030s and 2040s, the machines will be doing majority of the jobs. When you see the machines are going to do majority of the jobs, what is the jobs that we humans are going to do? Now, those are the jobs where very critical skills are going to be the driving force. Let me give an example. At that point of time, the machine will be doing all the jobs. So the job of thinking is only going to remain with us. When I say the job of thinking, that is how do I create new things? What is the creativity that I can build in? What is the critical thinking that I have across? What are the problem solving skills? So these all skills are something that are going to be very, very critical in future. And now it is very important that the generation that we have today, the children that we have today, we prepare them for those 2030s and 40s, because these are the people who are going to go out and work in those years. And if you really look at this, the critical thinking, the creativity, the problem solving skills, other social behavioral skills, they all somewhere form the part of cognitive skills. And that's the reason why we thought this is the right area, because we need to build our future generations. So this is the right area why we had to basically get into this.
We have to decide we want our children to be bee or to be a honeybee.
Honeybee. Are you classifying the bee to be a bumblebee, perhaps?
Bumblebee.
You can't say that. I mean a normal bee. I'm taking a very normal character of a bee.
Okay. Then probably a honeybee would sound good.
Yeah.
Honeybee is good to me also, because honeybees, it works very hard probably, and whatever it pulls out, and the honey that it gets created across. For me, honeybee is, I would prefer children being honeybees rather than bees.
Bumblebee,
Yes,
if it
yes.
is bumblebee, then of course no, then yeah, definitely a honeybee.
Yes, you're a honeybee, right? Because no matter whatever is around, you select the best from the flower, and you collect the nectar from there.
Yeah.
And you are not worried about what is there in the surrounding. You know what is the best thing to be taken. And this will develop through different cognitive skills.
True.
And the bee, in spite of everything around, what the bee will sit on not very good surface and all. Generally on the dirty surface and all that. So that is the selection that the bee does, and this is the way the honeybee selects. So we have to develop our cognitive skills in a way that we make our children honeybees.
Exactly. So Paresh, when people will going to watch this video, they will understand that the issue is real. Even we people struggle in critical thinking, right? So,
see, the level changes, Gulshan.
yes.
At what level you are thinking? Yes.
Exactly. So, this is not just a question. This is just, can say, the thing which I've understood from here. Just a second. Okay. So because it's time now, almost like it's been 10 years since now I'm in this training field. I've been to a number of institutions. I've traveled across India. I've met almost thousands of students and teachers, right? And everybody is struggling, and you can say, with these skills. To name it, problem solving, creative skills, logical thinking, critical thinking, memory, concentration, everything. People are struggling from all these things. In 2009, the Indian government, the CBSE, introduced course called the CC system. right?
Yes.
The comprehensive evaluation system. And in co-scholastic aspect, one of the thing was life skills. And under life skills, there are 10 skills which are very important. And with every subject, they have introduced some of the activities in which the students need to work, and the teachers were struggling to put in that manner so that the students can learn all these things. Now, my question is, when these skills are very important, right? When these skills are very important, nowadays, if I struggle, being suppose if I'm a student of 10th standard and I'm not good in science, I'm not good in physics, so what I'll do? I'll go to an instructor, I go to a tuition teacher wherein that person will teach me and how I can take care of this thing, right? Then why not there would be a mechanism through which I can learn these skills? Because whether you are at 10 years old, whether you are 25, or whether you are 20, I mean, at any age, you require all these skills. When I had the conversation with
So you are on mute.
You're got on mute.
Nikita just called me. Maybe she left the conversation due to some reason. So
मैम
she
आपको
just
एडमिट करना पड़ेगा उनको.
अच्छा इसमें भी एडमिट आ रहा, मैं एडमिट करती हूँ. चलिए, डन.
is Nikita is there?
Yeah, Nikita's coming. Yeah,
Nikita is coming. She was calling me. Between.
she's already in.
Yes, she is already in.
She is already in. Okay.
Yes.
So where I was there.
Nikita, you can wave. Yeah. She is there.
I can.
Yeah, it got disconnected.
Still, I can't see her, but still. So when I had the conversation with Paresh ji, this is the main reason. At least one of the company who is working for the main reason or the main skills. This is
True.
about it, right? Because everyone is struggling with these skills. Everybody is struggling to gain some more momentum on these things. Right nowadays, you can talk about it any company. I mean, we'll not name it, but there are number of companies who are working in this area, and everybody is teaching it. Everybody is giving you some and that other thing. Right now, that there's a coding fuzz is there. That if you will not learn the coding is just another skill. But first of all, you need to learn these basic skills. If you don't have basic skills, you will not learn the coding.
Absolutely.
And people are not getting, because nowadays everybody is talking about coding. This is the coding fuzz is there, right? So
Yeah,
what I was thinking, this is why this was my main intent. Because I mean, after 1 month or after 2 months, when I'll go to the schools, when I go to the people, at least I'll talk about these skills, because these will definitely make a difference in the student life, not just the student, in everybody's life, including me, right?
True.
Thank you, sir.
So Paresh, I believe that's a very wonderful session that we had
yes.
for almost 1.5 hours. I've also learned a lot of things from Malini ma'am. Thank you so much for enlightening us with your thought process. It's such a wonderful opportunity for us to learn from you. I know, I mean, you have worked in this industry for quite a long time, right? So
Yeah.
it's always, I mean, I'm thrilled to learn from you and would love to have more, can say, conversation from you, so that I can learn, I can teach more, can say, generations. Because the experience which you have is like, I mean, we don't have it, right? So we need to learn from you. It's like something directly, जो चीज चाहिए मांग लो. मेरी लाइफ की फिलॉसफी यही रही है. आपके पास में एक्सपीरियंस है, मुझे चाहिए थोड़ा सा आपसे सीखना है. I can directly come to you and I can directly learn from you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I agree with Ruchit. I agree with you, Malini ma'am. Experience enormous, lot of things to know from you and learn from you. At the same time, Gulshan ji, a lot of things to learn from you also, because you also have been very modest in probably underplaying yourself. But the experience that you have across, a lot of things that you also have done across. So along with you and Malini ma'am, you both are I would say veterans, because veterans doesn't count only in terms of number of years. Veterans count in terms of number of people that you handled across in all this.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
With the expecter.
So many people that you handled across. We are new into this, but we are very confident about what we are bringing in, because we are trying to bring in a change in the way people think. We are trying to make a change, in way the children will perform across tomorrow. And we are looking forward to work along with you, Malini ma'am, and along with Inspiring Mind and Gulshan ji, along with you. We will discuss further when the schools and all start. How do we go to schools? How do we do all these things?
Exactly.
We'll be doing those things further.
This is
And-
just
and,
starting. This is just
Thank you very much. Malini ma'am, it is late
Thank
in
you.
the evening. You're from Singapore. You're late in the evening. Sorry to keep you waiting for half an hour more.
Pardon?
I said sorry to keep you waiting for half an hour more. It's late evening in
Absolutely,
Singapore.
absolutely.
This
okay.
might be her dinner time, I believe.
No,
Yes,
I have finished my dinner because we take our dinner at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
And this was to start at 7:30, so I finished my dinner before this. Yeah, we are 2.5 hours ahead of you.
Yeah.
So
So
it was-
how's the weather there, Malini ma'am? How's the weather at Singapore?
Weather is very good. I mean, the daytime it certainly becomes warm, but
Yeah.
otherwise, in the morning today it was raining. So since last 1 week, it's either raining or drizzling. So
Okay.
when we go for our morning walks, it's very, very pleasant. Because I walk 7 to 8 kilometers minimum every day in the morning.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I think this was a very, very enriching session for me, meeting Gulshan Ji. Gulshan's Ji was really, I mean, I can see that what is the dream in the, what dreams you have in this age, you know. I mean, these dreams and how serious the dreams are. Serious in the sense, I mean, when the intentions are good, you know, the things certainly come forward. And when the intentions are good, the shape the things take, the thought process is very, very different. So
True.
everything I very strongly believe depends on your thought process.
Yeah.
And I could see that your thoughts are very, very pious, very intentions are great, that you want to serve the society, serve the younger generation. And I'm sure that both of you, Paresh Ji and Gulshan Ji, are going to meet their hopes and going to fulfill their dreams.
Sure.
And Shweta is always very sweet, Shweta.
Thank
The
you.
inputs were been very, very interesting and very thoughtful.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you. And we'll have another round of discussion when Nikita ji unfortunately couldn't continue. We'll have another round of discussions.
Sure, sure.
We can continue. Maybe, you know, the new education policy we can discuss in the next session.
Sure.
Thank you, Malini ma'am. Thank you, Paresh Ji. And thank you, Shweta, for becoming our moderator.
Thank you.
Good night, all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All it is. Bye-bye.
Have a good day. Yeah.
And if you like it, please give a tick mark, subscribe, and press the bell icon. Thank you for watching.